Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the penultimate race of the 2024 season. This season is one to remember, and we can only hope that 2025 will be the same since surely it will be, right? Imagine this tight grid with the new signings and the drama from this year pouring into the next. Oh man. Well, enough yapping about the future. What about this weekend? Qatar is a track I actually quite like since I think the track has a good blend of corners that can cause either great wheel-to-wheel racing or a crash, not to mention the track width as well as the heavy curbs that could cause some punctures. We have seen in 2023 and 2021 some good racing, so did this year's race follow suit or was it a snoozer? Well, personally, I thought it was good. I don't know, this one is very weird, so it's just hard to say. So with the race completed, all we have is one more, folks. One more race to see the season completed and perhaps who our 2024 Constructors champion is. Personally, I will always have hope for Ferrari, and can we sidetrack for a minute? In my full honest and totally unbiased opinion, I truly think Ferrari have been better than everyone since we have not had the best car for the majority of the season like them. However, we always maximized our results and rarely dropped points when there were more to gain, like how McLaren have done a couple times this year. Also, before you dare to mention the triple header plus Canada and maybe even Qatar, I will find you and hunt you down. The triple header plus Canada and maybe even Qatar did not happen and has never happened. Anyways, you know the drill. Let us recap the weekend and find our winners and losers from it. But before we go any further, don't forget to join the Discord where we react to these races live on chat and have great fun. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you have loved this season of Formula 1 racing. So enough yapping and let us find out who the winners and losers are from the Qatar Grand Prix. As always, recap first, and coming off of Vegas, Max is crowned champion for the 4th time in a row and dons a lovely new helmet to go along with it. And with George Russell winning his 3rd race in his career and Lewis Hamilton close to leaving Mercedes, they are donning a new nice white suit, and man, does this take me back. Anyways, nothing else much to add, so heading into FP1, the session would be critical since this weekend is also the final sprint race of the season, which means this is the only practice teams would get before heading out for the sprint quali, and the grid would be pretty weird. Can't tell if Red Bull, or I should say Max, are quick or slow. I can't tell if Sauber are cooking or not. I can't tell if McLaren are sandbagging or not. But there is one thing I am semi-confident on, and that is that Ferrari are pretty damn quick around here. The car looked to like this track so far since Charles would top the session and Sainz would be in P4 as well, so let's see how my dreams will inevitably be crushed come sprint quali. Speaking of, it's time for the sprint quali, and starting with SQ1, not much would happen other than, of course, Checo Perez. I know I've made it a joke recently that when he gets out of Q1, I brush it off as something expected, but like, bro, come on. It's not like he's bad around here. 2021 he was cooking, 2023 he was nice. It really is just skill issue, and if he continues next year at Red Bull for the sole purpose of money and sponsors, he will not only stain his name in the sport, but perhaps Mexico's reputation in the sport too. Okay, sorry for venting. SQ2 time, and not much else would happen other than more and more people holding each other up, and for some strange reason, Bottas is cooking, but he would get eliminated along with both Astons, traditions. And now for SQ3, and it would be a classic matchup of McLaren versus Ferrari. But hold on, is that? Oh my gosh, it is. George Big Balls Russell would take 2nd on the grid and split the McLarens, while Ferrari, well, they're just Ferrari. Also, there was a nice scene of one Haas, one V-Carb, and one Alpine fighting in the midfield too. And man, this season is so peak. I'm gonna miss it so much. Anyways, Norris would take pole position, and now we have the sprint race to look forward to. So, starting with lap 1, Lando would bottom. Oh wait, he actually started good and is pulling away. Nice job, buddy. Further behind, let's look at Red. Oh. Yeah, that car is so horrendous to look at. You have Max who can't drive the damn thing, and Checo who somehow on this earth got overtaken in the pit lane. What? Anyways, the race would calm down except for a nice move by Charles on Lewis. Look at my watch Ferrari goats go. And the race would finish with Norris win. Huh? God, man, this team is so cringe. Welcome everyone to F1's top 10 respect moments. And first up, we have when Lando Norris gave Oscar Piastri his win because of what happened in Brazil. Fuck off, man. Personally, I hate this since I already hate team orders and like, come on. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Lando should have won since he cooked the entire field in a very calm and a very masterful session, and I get it why he did it, don't get me wrong, what happened in Brazil was lame, but still, I can hate both of these situations, which is kinda exactly what I'm doing. Anyways, now that is over with, Pastry will win a pretty boring sprint to be honest, so let's look at the quali now, and starting with Q1, not much would happen other than Sauber looking oddly very quick, and one Haas, one V-Carb, and one Alpine getting out. Also, let's give Checo a quick round of applause for not getting out in Q1. Q2 would see nothing exciting other than K-Mag and Alonso getting into Q3, along with Perez, another round of applause for him. And in Q3, it would be very tight between everyone, but Max and George would take it to another level by being extremely close to each other. But at the end of it, it would be Max Verstappen taking pole position from George Russell by less than a tenth of a second. Very nice. Anyways, everything is done except for the race, so let us begin with lap 1, and hold on, Max is P2 now? Yeah, for some strange reason, Max got a 1-place grid penalty for going slow on a slow lap. Surely now they're just taking the piss out of him. Anyways, now starting with lap 1, and there's a safety car. Nico Hülkenberg sends it and drops it, which hits Ocon, who also sends it, who hits Colapinto, who's trying to get out the way. Poor Williams, man. And it gets worse, since Albon was hit by he who shall not be named, and please, F1 gods, just stop tormenting Williams. Anyway, safety car ends, and the race would neutralize now, with the best part being the midfield battle. But other than that, nothing until lap 35. Lap 35 saw little pit stops as of the point in time, but that would change when Hamilton got a puncture and Sainz too just seconds later. Many speculate it's because of the wing mirror on track that fell from a Sauber car, but it could also be because people play their luck with the tires. But no matter, safety car is out now so people can pit and so the mirror can get picked up. And say it with me everyone, MBS and the FIA are an absolute joke and an embarrassment to our sport. Anyways, race restarts now, and oh my god. Firstly, Checo loses the engine and is out before the restart, then Lando tries to go around Max and you know how that ends. Then Gasly sends a kamikaze, then Hülkenberg is out in the gravel. Jesus man, what is this race? Okay, one last time. Safety car ends and the restart is cleaner, and the race finally neutralizes again until the bombshell. Remember the wing mirror? There was a yellow flag and Max slowed down under caution like he should, but Lando didn't, so he gets a 10-second stop and go penalty. Jeez Louise, man. Anyways, race is finishing up and the race ends with Max winning from Charles somehow, and the constructors title heads to Abu Dhabi. What a very strange race. Now it's time for the winners and losers, and as always, losers first, and we start off with Esteban Ocon. And seriously, what has happened to him? Him and Gasly were close together in helping Alpine, but since Coda, with the exception of Brazil, he has been bent over, gripped up, and railed into the ground by Gasly. He is just slow and finding no pace, and perhaps it's because he is leaving next year and just doesn't care, which I don't blame him, but like, where's your rage, man? Do good, man. Stop crashing and being slow, just please help your team. Next up, we have Williams, and oh man, is the cost of not crashing being slow? Seriously, think back to all the Williams crashes and it's likely that they were competitive, and then think back to all the races where Williams were nowhere and it's likely they didn't crash. Well, guess what? They were slow today and did crash. The sprints were very lackluster from the Williams boys. The quali would see a double Q1 elimination, and the race would be pretty quickly over for them. Just please F1 gods, please leave them alone for once. Next is V-Carb, and I don't know what is worse, the car starting to flatline or Liam Lawson. Guys, I think Liam is starting to actually hate Hispanics. Like, this guy got impeded by an Aston and said Alonso was being an idiot, only to be told very comedically that it was actually Stroll that impeded him. Like, damn bro, I thought it was a joke, but shit man, maybe he is the most American driver we've had this season. Jokes aside, V-Carb were painfully slow this weekend. And I say painfully since, again, the battle of six is very important, and this sort of performance is just not acceptable, especially when you see how Gasly and K-Mag did. Moving on, we have Hülkenberg, and this was a strange one from him. He was not only slow, but also drove like a 73-year-old on the highway. Compared to K-Mag, he had a pretty bad weekend since he wasn't that competitive sprints aside, and the race was even worse too since that was just a very sloppy crash from him. He now has to lock the hell in for Abu Dhabi because 6th ain't secure, so let's hope Haas to not just lose 6 in the constructors. Next up is Lando Norris, and bro was not bad, but god damn man, 10-second stop and go for missing a yellow flag. Is that not a bit crazy, guys? Well, nothing else to say really since he didn't do bad, but yeah, pretty 5-second time penalty. Finally, and yes, 6 losers, but we have he who shall not be named. He was shit and he crashed again. Enough said. Now for the winners from the weekend, and we start with Max Verstappen. This guy's actually so cracked, bro. He won the title and said he's not done since he took a brilliant pole position in the real quali, and even though the sprints weren't the best, he did make up for it in the race since he was just serving 5-star meals to his competition, and again, he proves why he is the best in the sport and potentially the world. Next up is Russell, and what a driver. I am proud to say I have been a George Russell defender since day one. Genuinely, I don't think this guy would be this good if he never had Lewis as a teammate. I think having Lewis as a teammate pushed him to levels that I don't think we expected, since he is absolutely on it whenever Mercedes deliver a functioning car and not whatever they do for the majority of the season. I am longing for the day that Mark actually delivers a car that isn't embarrassing, since I think George in that Mercedes car would be so unbelievably fast and consistent, but alas, this weekend he was fast, and it only makes you wonder what would have happened if Merc did not mess him up. Next, we have Sauber, and congratulations to them, seriously. Whatever upgrades they have brought are clearly working, since they're actually competitive and competing for big positions sometimes now. If only they had this from the start of the season. Big points, and yeah, congrats. What's that? $10K? Give me 50 years and then I'll pay y'all. Moving on is Alonso, and I have nothing else to say other than good job for getting that green tractor in places it should not be. A Q3 performance is more than enough for me to put him here, and even though maybe there could have been more, maybe I am being too nice considering this is the best they, or rather he, has looked for a while. Next up is Gasly, and this guy was bad and good, but did get 5th, so clearly he did great. I have nothing to say really, since I looked down when he was 11th and looked back up to see he is 5th, so yeah, good job here. And Alpine might be locked in for 6th now. Wowzers. Finally, and yes, also 6 winners, and we have K-Mag, and I am gonna miss him. He will always be underrated to me, since bro is actually kinda good. It would be absolutely poetic if he was on the podium in Abu Dhabi, but we shall see. Also, the sprints plus real stuff were pretty good by him, especially the real race. And yeah, hopefully those rumors of him being in BMW for WEC next year are true, since he really does deserve so much more. Now for our bonus categories, and I have chosen the most bullied category, and of course we have Lando and Lewis. Why did the FIA give a 10-second stop and go for speeding under yellows? Like, Jesus man, relax. And Lewis bro, I am so sorry for what happened to you today. And those are my winners and losers from the Qatar Grand Prix weekend. Overall, I thought this was a pretty weird race, and I just can't wait till next week so this season can finally be done. As much as I love this season, damn do I need a break from the sport, since I always forget how draining this sport is and all its dramatics, but that's part of the fun, and I imagine the drivers and staff would love the break too. Anyways, let us look at my predictions I made for the Qatar Grand Prix weekend as well as yours, and starting with the sprints, I got these ones pretty wrong. Next, we have the real quali, and these were pretty bad. Now for my race predictions, and I got these ones wrong, but what even happened today? Next is the random prediction, and hey, I got 2 out of 4 of them, so take that. Finally, we have my community predicts, and no one could have seen what happened today coming, so I don't blame any of y'all. Anyways, you can look forward to the weekend preview in the coming days, so let's see how the season ends. Anyways, I want to give a quick shout out to all members of the flock for their continued support, and make sure to join if you want cool benefits as well as just helping me out. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe since it really helps me out, and make sure to let me know in the comments who your winners and losers are. And as always, have an amazing day.
Good winner for the duck.